If you're here, it's because inner alchemy is guiding you towards something greater. This is no coincidence. This is a calling, the call for ultimate manifestation. Have you ever felt that something inside you wants to change? That there's a latent power waiting to be awakened? That force has always been there, but it was hidden from you. Now, it's time to remember. True alchemy was never about turning lead into physical gold. It has always been about transforming your reality, transmuting limitations into possibilities, elevating your consciousness to the point where what you desire is no longer just a distant dream, but an inevitable reality. The ancient masters knew that everything in the universe is vibration. What you feel, think, and believe generates waves that shape your life. Manifestation doesn't happen by chance, it's a process. And that process starts within. If your energy is misaligned, your desires will never materialize. If you vibrate in scarcity, you will stay trapped in it. If you want something but deep down believe you don't deserve it, that belief blocks its manifestation. That's why so many people fail to manifest what they truly want. But the great alchemists, those who understood the hidden laws of reality, knew how to break this cycle. They knew that the external world is just a reflection of the internal one. Hermes Trismegistus taught this principle thousands of years ago. As within, so without. If you learn to master your energy, your mind, and your emotions, the world around you will have no choice but to transform. This is the secret that was hidden from you. But if this knowledge has reached you now, it means you're ready to understand how to shape your reality through inner alchemy. And now, I ask you, are you ready to manifest consciously, to break free from the cycle of scarcity, and finally access what has always been meant for you? Because ultimate manifestation doesn't happen by chance. It happens to those who understand and apply this knowledge. If you feel that this secret has found you at the right moment, keep going until the end. Because what comes next might be the missing key to transforming your life. Magic, a word filled with mystery, surrounded by centuries of fear and wonder. For some, it brings to mind spells and enchantments, invisible forces manipulated by those with secret knowledge. For others, it's something dangerous, tied to the unknown, something that shouldn't be touched. But the true meaning of magic has always been beyond beliefs and myths. Magic is not a trick, not a spectacle, not an illusion. Magic is the art of transforming reality through consciousness. Throughout history, those who understood this principle were called magicians, alchemists, sages. From Merlin, the archetype of mystical knowledge, to Paracelsus, who merged medicine and alchemy to understand that the body and mind are extensions of the same force. From the ancient Egyptians who saw the universe as a living field of energy, to the Hermetic philosophers who taught that the external world is merely a reflection of what happens within us. They all shared the same understanding. True power is not outside, it's within. Magic doesn't happen in complex rituals, in words spoken in an exact way, in objects charged with symbolism. These are just tools. True magic is conscious manifestation. It's knowing that everything around you first began as a thought, an intention. Before any great invention, there was an idea. Before any change in history, there was a vision. Nothing materializes without first existing in the invisible world of the mind. But here's the detail almost no one notices. Manifestation doesn't happen only when you consciously desire something. It's happening all the time. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you carry is shaping your reality. Most people manifest without realizing it. They live on autopilot, creating from fear, doubt, and scarcity, without even noticing that they're reinforcing exactly what they want to avoid. This happens because the mind, spirit, and matter are always connected. If one of them is out of alignment, manifestation becomes inconsistent. Someone may desire wealth, but if deep down they believe money is hard to earn, that belief will prevail. They may want a harmonious relationship, but if they carry wounds from the past and don't believe they deserve love, reality will reflect that vibration. This isn't superstition. This is a fundamental principle of existence. The ancients called this the Law of Correspondence, as within, so without. Modern science confirms this through quantum physics, which shows that consciousness influences matter. The famous double-slit experiment proved that simply observing a phenomenon changes its outcome. This means the world around you is not fixed. It responds to your perception. Everything is in flux, waiting to be shaped. But to manifest consciously, you must understand an essential principle. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Wanting something isn't enough. You must become it. If you desire abundance, you must feel abundant before you even see the results. If you desire love, you must vibrate at that frequency, cultivating within yourself what you want to attract. If you seek transformation, you must be willing to step out of your old identity and open yourself to the new. This requires more than just positive thinking. It demands clarity, intention, and deep alignment between mind, spirit, and action. There's no point in visualizing something while continuing to act the same way, feeding the same old patterns. Real magic doesn't happen in the realm of words, but in the realm of decisions. The universe responds to coherence, not contradiction. And that's why so few people can manifest their desires, because they want to change reality without changing themselves. They want a different outcome but keep vibrating at the same frequency as always. But those who understand the true meaning of magic know that transformation begins within. That reality is not imposed, it's created. That consciousness is the only tool that has always been and will always be within their reach. The trinity of manifestation, spirit, mind, and matter. Manifestation doesn't happen by chance. It follows a universal principle, an invisible code that governs the creation of reality. But for something to materialize consistently, three forces must be in balance: spirit, mind, and matter. This isn't just a philosophical concept. This is the invisible framework behind everything that has ever been created. The spirit feels and creates. It is the primordial spark, the source of all inspiration. Before anything exists in the physical world, it must first exist as an impulse in the spiritual plane. This impulse is what we call desire, intuition, calling. It's that moment when you feel the need to follow a path, do something new, change your life. But a desire by itself has no form. It is pure potential, waiting to be shaped. The mind conceives and structures. This is the second pillar of manifestation. This is where desire transforms into a clear vision. The spirit feels the calling, but it's the mind that gives it meaning. Without mental clarity, the creative impulse gets lost, dissolving into the noise of the world. That's why so many people have dreams but never make them happen. They feel like they want something but can't define exactly what or how to achieve it. Disorganized thinking creates a chaotic reality. But when the mind aligns with the spirit, it acts as an architect, building the bridges between the invisible and the tangible. The body acts and executes. Here lies the third and final pillar. Without action, no manifestation happens. You can feel something deeply inside you and even visualize it coming to life. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. Energy must move in the material plane for reality to shift. And this is where many people fail. They feel the calling, they visualize the change, but they hesitate when it's time to act. Fear paralyzes, doubt creeps in, and slowly that initial desire starts fading away until it feels like a distant dream. When spirit, mind, and body are not aligned, manifestation becomes unstable. If you desire something but your internal beliefs say it's not possible, your energy contradicts itself and the result never materializes. If your mind structures a plan but your body doesn't take action, the manifestation stays stuck in the realm of ideas. If you act but without mental clarity and a true purpose, you end up running in circles, trapped in a meaningless routine. Esoteric traditions have always taught this principle. In Hermeticism, this triad is expressed through the concept of the three-in-one: the creator, the thinker, and the doer. In Hinduism, this same dynamic is represented by the three aspects of existence: Brahma, the creator; Vishnu, the sustainer; and Shiva, the transformer. In Taoism, it is said that harmony between Jing, vital essence. Qi, energy, and Shen, consciousness, is the key to a fulfilled life. Across all these traditions, the same truth repeats in different forms. Reality is not born from randomness. It emerges from the alignment of intention, thought, and action. The problem is that most people operate in a fragmented way. They want to manifest something, but their thoughts are polluted with doubt and insecurity. They try to take action, but without a real purpose coming from the spirit. They nurture desires but don't commit to structuring them and turning them into concrete plans. And so, cycles repeat, frustration sets in. They start believing that manifestation doesn't work, that the universe doesn't respond. But it's not the universe that's failing. It's the internal misalignment that blocks the flow of creation. Conscious manifestation only happens when these three pillars are in harmony. When the spirit feels, the mind structures, and the body acts. When desire, thought, and action operate as one force, when you stop contradicting yourself and become an open channel for energy to move without resistance. The gold of alchemy, the transformation of consciousness. But there's something even deeper behind this process. Something the ancient alchemists knew, but that has been distorted over time. True transmutation was never about turning lead into physical gold. That was just a metaphor, a symbolic way to conceal knowledge that could only be understood by those ready to see beyond the obvious. Real alchemy has always been about refining consciousness, about transforming the ordinary human into an awakened being. Gold, in ancient traditions, was never just a precious metal. To the Egyptians, it was the flesh of the gods, the unchanging essence that doesn't decay with time. To the Aztecs, it was a divine gift, a sacred substance symbolizing the light of the sun and the connection to the spiritual. In Western esoteric traditions, gold represented the highest state of the soul, the complete realization of the self. But in the modern world, this symbol has been reduced to something purely material. What once represented enlightenment has become just a unit of financial value, an object of desire driven by greed. The meaning was lost, but the truth remains the same. Inner alchemy brings back this sacred vision. The gold that the ancients sought was never outside. It was always within. The true alchemist doesn't try to transform metals. He transforms himself. Lead symbolizes the raw state of consciousness, weighed down by doubts, fears, and conditioning. Gold represents the purified mind, free from illusions, aligned with the truth of being. The path of alchemy is the path of awakening. But this transmutation doesn't happen overnight. Just as gold must be refined through fire, consciousness must be shaped through self-knowledge, the dismantling of limiting beliefs, and the confrontation of inner shadows. That's why so few reach this stage, because the process demands something most people fear: real transformation. Wanting it isn't enough. You must strip away everything that isn't authentic. You must let the old versions of yourself die so that the true self can emerge. The great alchemists of the past knew that the philosopher's stone wasn't a physical object. It was a state of mind. They studied not just the elements, but also the mysteries of existence, the structure of the universe, the secrets of consciousness. In Hermeticism, this knowledge was passed down through symbols and riddles so that only those who were ready could understand it. In the East, the same wisdom was expressed through the concept of enlightenment, the moment when the mind finally frees itself from the chains of the illusory world. The illusion of speed. The path accepts no shortcuts. But this is where most people fail. The search for inner alchemy, awakening, and conscious manifestation cannot be rushed. Yet many get frustrated because they want immediate results. They want to transform their mind, body, and reality in the blink of an eye. But the universe doesn't respond to anxiety. The universe has its own rhythm, and trying to speed it up is like forcing a seed to become a tree in a single day. This illusion of speed is one of the biggest obstacles on the path to awakening. We live in an era where everything is instant, where patience is seen as a delay, where every second must be filled with something. And this mindset has been transferred to spirituality. Many want to understand alchemy without experiencing it. They want to manifest their desires without transforming themselves. They want enlightenment without going through the darkness, but that has never been possible. The true magician, the true alchemist, understands that time and transformation go hand in hand. In Zen Buddhism, there's a story about a disciple who approached a master and asked, "Master, how long will it take for me to reach enlightenment?" The master replied, "If you dedicate 10 years of your life, you may get there." The disciple, impatient, insisted, "And what if I try my hardest? If I study all the time without rest?" The master smiled and said, "Then it will take 20 years. The lesson behind this story is clear. The more you try to rush the process, the further you get from true understanding. Hurry doesn't speed up evolution, it only distorts it. When the mind is focused on the destination, it disconnects from the present. And it's in the present that transformation happens. The ancient alchemists knew this. They spent years studying the principles, practicing observation of nature, working on inner transmutation before even thinking about external transmutation. In the Hermetic tradition, it was said that everything has its time and that trying to manipulate nature before the right moment is the mistake of the impatient. In Taoism, the very essence of the Tao is in accepting the flow of life, in understanding that things happen at the right time, neither before nor after. But this is a hard lesson for the modern mind, which is used to instant results. We live in a world where everything is fast. Information, decisions, distractions. Waiting is seen as a mistake, as a failure. But alchemy follows a different logic. It does not submit to human haste. It requires maturation. A fine wine needs time to ferment. A crystal takes millennia to form in the depths of the earth. A human being takes an entire lifetime to understand who they truly are. How to create in the spiritual plane. But to trust the process, you first need to break free from the programming that has kept you from the truth. And one of the greatest symbols of this forgotten truth is the serpent. Since the dawn of humanity, the serpent has been seen as a powerful archetype. The ancients associated it with wisdom, the cycle of renewal, and the vital energy that flows through the body. In Egypt, it appeared on the crowns of pharaohs as a sign of spiritual enlightenment. In India, yoga masters taught that Kundalini energy, represented by a dormant serpent at the base of the spine, needed to be awakened for a person to reach their true nature. Among indigenous peoples, the serpent symbolized rebirth, the death of the old so that the new could emerge, but this symbol was distorted. In many religious traditions, the serpent was turned into an enemy, a deceitful being that led humanity away from paradise. What was once a guide to awakening became a warning against knowledge. This inversion of meaning wasn't an innocent mistake. It was a way to keep people from their true power, to prevent them from accessing the ancient wisdom that had always been available. In esoteric texts, the serpent doesn't represent the fall, it represents ascension. It is the force that moves up the spine, activating the body's energy centers and expanding consciousness. When this energy flows freely, the veils of illusion lift and the perception of reality transforms. But those who control the narrative never wanted this to happen. That's why the wisdom of the serpent was hidden, fragmented, wrapped in dogma that made people fear it instead of understanding it. Recovering this lost knowledge is essential for ultimate manifestation, because manifesting isn't just about attracting something external. It's about awakening to what already exists within. And that brings us to one of the most important principles of conscious creation: certainty. Most people ask, but they ask with doubt. They desire something, but at the same time, they question whether it can really be theirs. And that hesitation cancels out the request itself. Jesus said, "Ask, and it will be given to you." But he didn't say to ask with fear, insecurity, or a vibration of lack. He said to ask knowing it has already been given. In the spiritual plane, time doesn't exist the way it does in the physical world. Everything is already created. But for something to become real in matter, you must vibrate in the certainty of possession. The most common mistake people make is asking from a place of scarcity. When someone says, "I want money because I'm struggling," they are vibrating in the energy of lack, When someone says, "I want a relationship because I feel lonely," they are reinforcing their own loneliness. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you are. The ancient sages knew this. In Hermeticism, there is a fundamental principle: as within, so without. If internally you feel lack, lack manifests. If internally you already see yourself as prosperous, prosperity materializes. That is the difference between those who spend their lives asking and those who simply receive. The Hermetic principle of vibration, how it influences reality. But certainty alone isn't enough. It needs to be accompanied by an aligned vibration. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to the frequency you emit. This is the foundation of the Hermetic principle of vibration. Everything is in motion. Everything emits energy, from the smallest particles to thoughts and emotions. Nothing is still. Everything pulses, resonates, and connects with what vibrates at the same frequency. When someone feels scarcity, even if they say they want prosperity, their vibration communicates the opposite. When someone desires love but internally feels unworthy, that energy creates invisible barriers that prevent love from manifesting. The mistake most people make is trying to force results without first becoming what they want to receive. But the universe can't deliver something to someone who isn't ready to hold it. The ancient sages understood this deeply. In Hermeticism, this principle was taught so that humans could realize there is no separation between themselves and what they desire. The external reality is merely a reflection of the internal vibration. This means that to change any aspect of life, you must first change your internal state. This isn't an abstract idea, it's an observable truth. People who radiate confidence tend to attract opportunities. Those who live in gratitude seem to multiply their blessings. The reason isn't mystical, it's energetic. Your emotions and thoughts act like magnets. What you emit, you receive in return. This means the awakening of the spirit begins when you become aware of this mechanism and learn to use it consciously. Awakening doesn't happen suddenly. It's a process. It's not just about manifesting things. It's about remembering who you truly are. What excites you, what resonates with your soul, what makes your heart vibrate intensely isn't random. It's a sign. These deep desires weren't placed in you by accident. They are messages from your spirit, pointing you toward the path you're meant to follow. But many ignore this calling. They try to fit their dreams into the expectations of the world, seek external validation for their choices, and let the fear of uncertainty paralyze them. This is how doubt, procrastination, and fear become invisible prisons. The spirit knows where it needs to go, but the mind interferes, creating barriers, over-rationalizing, and trying to control a flow that should be natural. Alignment happens when you let go of this internal struggle, when you accept that your true desires aren't whims of the mind, but directions from the spirit. When you understand that manifesting isn't just about creating something new, but about revealing what already exists on a deeper level. And this is where inner alchemy reaches its final stage. The last portal opens when the seeker realizes that supreme manifestation isn't about acquiring something external, it's about becoming the highest version of themselves. When alignment with the universal flow happens, everything becomes natural. There is no longer doubt between wanting and receiving. There is no separation between desire and fulfillment. Everything already is. Those who reach this state no longer live in anxiety about the future or regret about the past. They don't try to force the universe to give them something because they understand that everything is already available. They simply move with the flow, fully aware that they are co-creators of reality. Now that you understand how inner alchemy can transform your reality and lead you to supreme manifestation, a special video has been prepared to help you dive deeper into this knowledge and apply it to your life. Don't leave yet. Click on the video appearing on the screen now, and I'll meet you there to take the next step on this journey.